Hello, and welcome to episode 34, Movies and Us. I am Marcus.
I wasn't ready yet. What are you doing?
Yeah, we're going no matter what.
I'm TJ.
And this is the movie review show that reviews genre movies from the beginning sometimes. Today we're reviewing X2, X-Men United.
Are we?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. This movie came out in 2003. Had a box office budget of 110 to 125 million. That's a weird estimate. But it did gross 407 million worldwide, which made it number, what's that number? Hold on.
Oh god, here we go again.
Oh, I did a box office last time. We're going to do it next week too. So I'm just going to, X-Men was at number 9, the top 10 of the box office.
You only did the top 5 last week, by the way.
Did I?
Yeah, you said you were going to save it for this week because the top 10 because there was no superhero movies in it.
Oh, that's true. Number 10, Bad Boys 2. Number 9, X2, X-Men United. Number 8, The Matrix Revolutions. Number 7, Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. Number 6, The Last Samurai. Number 5, Bruce Almighty. Number 4, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. Number 3, Matrix Reloaded. Number 2, Finding Nemo. And number 1, Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King.
Oh, the days when superheroes weren't the top 5.
Oh, man. You remember that?
No.
Yes. Yes, neither do I. Oh, there was like 3 superhero movies that came out this year, too. Well, that year.
So, what does that mean?
It's still a lot of superhero movies. Freaky Friday came out that year, too.
God, here we go again.
Gothica.
We did this last week.
No, I didn't. School of Rock. I don't remember. Paycheck. Freddy vs. Jason came out 2003. And the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Wow. The Phone Booth. I love. You ever seen Phone Booth?
I know of it.
Old School came out here. Bad Santa, Dreamcatcher, The Core, Holes. God, it's my childhood, TJ. Matchstick Men.
Yeah, we go through this every week.
I know.
And
Jeepers Creepers. That's crazy.
This is the part of the show where me and the audience just go get a snack or something while you just talk about movies you nostalgic about.
The audience, they go grab eggs to suck on, and you just sit there quietly like a good child.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So the runtime's 133. It's 2 hours and 13 minutes? This movie is directed by Bryan Singer yet again. Screenplay by Michael Dougherty. Can't say that name. Dan Harris. David Hayter. Story by Zach Penn. David Hayter. Bryan Singer.
David Hayter. That's not right.
How would you say that name?
Solid Snake. He's Solid Snake.
Really? That's
from Metal Gear Solid.
Well, sorry, I don't play games, TJ, so I don't know who David Hayter is.
Yeah, well, because he's not David Hayter. He's Solid Snake. Unless it's the 5th Metal Gear Solid where they, for some reason, got Kiefer Sutherland to play the Solid Snake.
Which is weird that they did that.
Well, you know, you don't even like video games.
I tolerate them.
Mm-hmm.
It's no what's weird about you. You have no tolerance for movies that are 2 hours, but video games are like 10 hours plus.
Some of them are longer than that. I don't have to sit there for 4 hours just watching a video game. I can stop at any time I want.
You can stop moving whenever you want.
Yeah, but it's not designed that way. You're supposed to sit down and watch it. You're not unlike you who takes 7,000 breaks. I don't know how people do that. Just stop doing something.
If it's a movie I've seen before, I'm gonna stop watching it and take my breaks.
Whereas video games, you're like interacting with the game at all times. You know, you're fighting something, you're leveling up, you're doing stuff in between the story bits.
You can still pause it though.
And what, leave it on overnight?
Pause it. You can pause. There's a pause button in video games.
Yeah, I know. And then do what? Oh, do something else like you do?
Yeah, go to the bathroom, get a snack, do whatever you want.
You make no sense.
Why is there a pause button, TJ?
To pause it. Some games don't have pause buttons.
Those are games I will play.
You don't play any games.
I play Tetris sometimes.
Like, yeah, of course.
They're pretty good. I love Tetris. They're pretty good, that game.
Uh-huh.
It's fun.
Tetris is for women anyway.
Let me keep that in, TJ?
Yeah, I don't care.
Wow, really?
But there's nothing wrong with that. It is. Women love Tetris.
Tetris is for women?
Yeah,
it wasn't made for women?
No, I said it's for women, though.
Yeah. That implies it was made for women because they're women.
It's a good game, and women love it.
Yeah,
What's wrong with that?
Used as a derogatory term, I feel.
Only against you, though.
Exactly.
That's derogatory against you, not women.
Me and my fan base.
You don't have a fan base.
You just caused a rift in our fan base, TJ.
You don't have a fan base.
Yes, I do. This movie also has a huge cast. We're going to name them all for you guys. Starring Patrick Stewart as Professor X, Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, Ian McKellen as Magneto, Halle Berry as Storm, Famke Janssen as Jean Grey, James Marsden as Scott Summers.
Marsden.
It's
Marsden.
He's in Westworld. Good first season. Second and third season. Rebecca Ramjan as Mystique. Anna Paquin as Rogue. Brian Cox as William Stryker. Alan Cunning as Kurt Wagner. Nightcrawler. Aaron Stanford as Pyro. Bruce Davidson as Senator Kelly again. Sean Ashmore as Bobby Drake. Kelly Hu as Lady Deathstrike.
I like how you skip the names you can't pronounce.
No, I'm on IMDb. I didn't go to. I'm doing off the other one.
Yeah, but you say like the first names of some of them, but not the real first, like their normal names, and then
Who did I
like,
do the first names of? Jean Grey? That's what she goes by, Jean Grey. Scott is Cyclops, I guess. Who else? I did everyone's right. Nightcrawler.
You skip Mystique's first name, real name. You skip.
I didn't say anyone's real name besides Jean Grey and Kurt.
Kurt Wagner is Nightcrawler. You said his first name.
Yeah, I only said two people's first names. That's it.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't say Charles. I didn't say Logan. I didn't say Aurora. I didn't say Eric. I didn't say Scott. It's because people know who the they are.
Sure.
I know I'm bad at saying names. I'm bad at spelling names.
You skipped the names you couldn't pronounce. Just admit it.
Goddamn right. Shadowcat's in here. Kitty Pryde's in here. She's in every one of them, honestly.
Shadowcat and Kitty Pryde are different characters.
Same thing.
No, they're really
Do they both go to the same? Do they both have the same powers? What's Shadowcat's power?
What?
Disgusting. What's Shadowcat's power?
Kitty Pryde's power is walking through walls. Shadowcat is more of a what's the word I'm looking for?
Dead air.
What the is the word? I can have a blank here.
Telekinesis.
Continue. I'll come back to it when I remember.
I know, I'm googling this right now. She's airwalking. What? Using her phasing ability, Shadowcat can walk on air.
Yeah.
Phasing, electrical, disruption.
She's got a mixture of powers, where Kitty Pryde's mostly just phasing through walls and stuff like that.
Let's do this. So that's the behind the scenes. Oh, anything you want to talk about behind the scenes, TJ?
There's nothing that interesting that went on. The makeup took a long time, apparently.
I mean, that's the makeup, though, in general. I know Halle Berry got more screen time. She became more famous between the movies.
She also dropped a role in the Jennifer Lopez Gigi movie to do this.
Good call on her part.
Yeah, so... But yeah, I mean, nothing special. 2 guys almost died in the police car blow-up scene with Pyro, but...
It was almost, doesn't really matter.
And apparently Hugh Jackman's stunt double got hurt somehow. They don't really go into it. There wasn't a lot behind the scenes. I mean, it's a sequel to a good movie made in the 2000s. You're not going to get that much, you know.
Yeah, sadly, yeah.
Sadly, there's no controversy behind the scenes for this.
No, not controversy. It's just something to talk about. But it's all the same.
Look, we got a 2 hour and 13-minute movie to talk about. I don't think we need any more to talk about.
Oh, that cute. Let's go on to the movie.
Oh, God.
We start with a good classic Marvel panel flip.
Is it classic at this point?
At this point, I think it's like... I guess I want to mention this is my first... I had 2 movies I opened up for Christmas that were my first movies ever owned. This is one of them. No, correction. 3 movies I opened up. This is 1 of 3. And I just always remember being young and like, oh, the Marvel panel flips. So I thought it was always iconic to me. So they're iconic. The other 2 movies I opened up was this. It was Black Knight starring Martin Lawrence. It was a good movie, but trash. And the other movie is The Hulk, which we'll get to sometime on this list. But is it the Hulk or Hulk? The movie's so boring, the didn't even show up.
They used the Hulk for the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
But why not in the first one?
It's just Hulk.
Why? Did they like think, okay, we're going to do Hulk, then the Hulk, and then the Incredible Hulk? Did they have a plan for that way or something?
I don't know. We didn't review that one yet.
I'm curious.
That's a good thing to discuss in the next one.
So, we open up a voiceover over a galaxy, I guess, or whatever you want to call this. And then we just go into opening credits, CGI, good 2000 stuff. And then... That's right. Okay, cool. We open up, we get to White House, a tour at the White House. And, yeah, there's some people talking, touring place, blah, 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 blah. And who's there? And shades and a hat and an overcoat, who would never notice his blue face, is Nightcrawler.
He was wearing makeup.
Was he wearing makeup?
Yeah, it was cracked and stuff.
I don't know, man. But she's so, like, they're not gonna let anyone in the White House like that in the first place after 9/11, right? Like, that's just, I thought it was a weird choice of clothes.
Why the White House didn't get hit with the airplanes?
Yeah, but still, like, national security at the all-time high.
I don't know. It's just a hat and sunglasses.
And an overcoat. He's acting sketchy.
I mean, I guess. I don't know.
No one else is wearing an overcoat. It's nice outside through the windows.
They just search him?
They would search him. And if you think when they're searching, you see his face, like, oh man, this guy's kind of Mutiny.
No, he's got makeup on.
I just didn't notice the makeup, but I believe you, I guess. Anyways, Nightcrawler sneaks around. He does his Nightcrawler stuff. It has a great, awesome attack the White House, attack the president sequence of effing all over the place, and it's badass. Watch it on YouTube. It's just these 4 minutes, and it's great. That's all you need from this movie.
Yeah, you better enjoy it, because that's pretty much the last you get of them.
Yeah, and I've always hated that about this movie as a kid. Like, oh, awesome Nightcrawler. That's the thing about these movies, these X-Men movies. They get a cool character. Most of the characters are cool. They show the cool powers and how awesome they are, and then they don't use them ever again. I just always hated about these movies.
But it costs too much to do.
Either costs too much to do, or just like, oh man, that'd be a great way to get out of problems. Let's not have a character around ever again. Quicksilver and the Days of Future Past movies and all that shit. Anyways, Nightcrawler does his thing. He goes to attack the president, gets shot in the shoulder, and he drops a knife that he can attack him with and bamps out the White House, which I don't get. He could still do his thing. No, that makes sense, because he woke up from the... Okay, that makes sense.
Because he got shot and he got woken up from his brain controlled.
That makes sense. But on the knife it said mutant freedom now, because mutants are oppressed. Anyways, I think the sequel is like right after the first one, I assume, right?
Yeah, it's like immediately after. Well, I guess however long it takes Wolverine to get from the mansion at the end of the movie to where he is now.
It's like, I guess, a month or so. Because the next sequence is Wolverine at... What's the place called?
Alkali Lake.
What's it called?
I think it's called Alkali Lake.
Alkali, that word. A lake. We'll call it a lake. A period lake. Hey, Wolverine's just searching for his memories in his past. Like, who am I? Where am I? Who was I? Comes across a wolf, because wolves.
So I guess this is a good point to mention. This whole movie is based on two storylines from the comics. The graphic novel God Loves, Man Kills, and from the Ultimate Universe, Return to Weapon X.
So what's the first one about?
Well, they're both similar, where, Cyclops gets kidnapped and Xavier gets kidnapped by, things, except the God and Love Man Kills in that one, which is the main universe. Stryker's not a military general, he's actually a preacher.
Really?
Yeah, and he killed his wife and son, because his son's alive in this one, and that one because his son was born a mutant, and so he takes that as a sign from God to go and murder all mutants, and that's what he's doing in that, and, kidnaps Xavier. I think it's in that one, he kidnaps Xavier to use Cerebro to kill everyone, whereas Return to Weapon X is, Stryker is the quintessential general like he is in this one, but he's working... It was was it a S.H.I.E.L.D. operation? I can't remember if they were working with S.H.I.E.L.D. or they were rogue of S.H.I.E.L.D., but he was teamed up with Rogue because Rogue was a bad guy in that one. And so they were kidnapped and brought to the Weapon X program and stuff like that, which is what turned Wolverine into Wolverine and so forth and so forth.
I like that.
Also, Wolverine and Stryker don't know each other in the comics, so Stryker didn't craft Logan into what he is in the Weapon X program, because in this universe, this will be the first time he actually met him. He didn't know who he was, so
really?
that's different. Also, the Phoenix Saga had already happened by this point, so Jean Grey wouldn't have been in it at all.
That kind of makes sense in this movie, honestly.
Yeah, because she's just in here to build up the next movie, essentially, because they didn't get to it. Because they were from what I read, they were going to do the Phoenix Saga in this movie, but one writer talked them out of it because he felt that they needed to build up more of the universe before they got to that.
Oh, okay. That's fair. You can't just jump right into it. That's fair.
Yeah.
What universe is this, by the way?
It's the same one that from the first one. It is 10,005. The novel, there's a lot of similar things. Like I said, Stryker's the main villain. The X-Men do team up with Magneto, except Magneto doesn't go all Dark Magneto in the end and try and get Xavier to kill all humans.
I like that in this, though.
But honestly, it's just combining things together. You know what I'm saying? They're just combining different aspects together so they can get to the third sequel movie.
I think it did it well in this. It never felt Frankenstein, I guess. I don't know how to put the words out there.
No, it's actually a good movie. It's just not. It doesn't follow the comics as strictly as it could have. Is what I'm saying.
I respect that. I mean, are those storylines that important though?
I'm not saying it takes away from the story or anything. They did a fine job with it. It's just there's differences. That's all I'm pointing out.
So, did they ever know each other beforehand? Not
No.
even. Like, what's Wolverine's backstory then, really?
The Weapon X program is an organization. It's essentially, and they experimented on him and grafted the metal onto his bones and stuff. But I don't really want to get too into it because we're going to get to all that in X-Men Wolverine.
No, but like Stryker had nothing to do with that, though.
No.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So the rest of it's kind of the same, but his.
Yeah. I mean, the story's kind of the same. It's just Stryker had nothing to do with it.
I wonder why they didn't make him a preacher in this.
Because they took it from two different versions of them.
Okay.
Because the Preacher was in the original version of the X-Men comics, and then there's the Ultimate Universe, which is was like a more, I'm gonna say mature to be nice to it, because it's not that great, but like it's a darker, more mature version of the Marvel Universe that went from like, I think it was like 2000 to 2012 until they blew it all up. Miles Morales actually came from the Ultimate Universe because Peter Parker died in that version, and he took over from there.
Oh, shit, okay. Interesting.
So, yeah.
Nice little comic book lore shit. Thank you, TJ. That's how we keep you around. That's why we pay the big bucks.
Yeah, because I'm the one that didn't make you do this. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways, after Wolverine, little playtime in the snow, we are fast forward or jumped over to another tour at a museum. This movie likes tours for some reason. There's a natural history museum, I guess, whatever you want to call it. And I
don't know if it would be a tour. It's more of a school trip.
School trip tours. It's one and the same almost, right?
No, well, tour is you get led through by somebody, whereas a school trip, it's kind of like here, where everyone's just everywhere.
Yeah, but like Storm's like leading them through, like, here kids, this is this, and this. Like, it's kind of a tour.
Yeah, but she's teaching. That's her job.
Yeah, same thing. So a tour's teaching you stuff.
I mean, it can be, but not necessarily.
Usually. Yeah, it is.
Are you really learning if you're taking a tour about a fake thing?
A fake what?
Like, if you're going through, like, a scary house and none of the facts are real, are you really learning anything?
A fake scary house? Would you call going through a haunted house a tour?
Not like one of those historical haunted houses. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it's history, so you're still learning something, but it's history or real history.
Yeah, but like when all the facts aren't true, is it really learning if you're not really learning anything of substance?
No, but not really. Yes and no. Just like the Salem witch trials, they weren't really witches, but you're still learning history, I guess.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about.
I don't know. I can't think of an example. You're talking
when someone's explaining like the history of a house and they say that this person still haunts it to this day.
Oh yeah, it's still a tour because the whole thing's not just that. Probably it's they can this chair was made in the 1800s, and so that all the killing still haunts the house, lives on this out in this chair.
I take it more as a show, than an actual tour.
Yeah.
And a museum is not a tour, is either. A museum's a museum.
People can tour you through museums. You can
get tours, but that's not exactly what was going on here.
It felt like a tour. It was a tour to me, so I'm calling it a tour.
I'm just saying it wasn't a tour.
It's a tour.
No. Were they taking a tour of the food court?
The older kids?
Yeah.
No. To take a break in the food court between the tour. Their tour was done with. The other kids still had to learn some shit. Jean Grey, Cyclops, and why am I blank on Halle Berry's name in this fucking Storm? It's the easiest name to remember. It's Storm, Jean Grey, and Cyclops guiding the kids, teaching the kids, whatever you want to call it, of history, museum, and mutations, and blah 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 blah. Jean Grey's she's afraid of the future. She's telling Scott, she knows what's going to happen, but something bad's going to happen later on in the movie. Foreshadowing, blah blah blah.
It's because she was getting headaches and stuff.
Yeah, and the headaches are caused because she can't control her powers, and everyone's just staring at her like these mutants. I guess they know she's a mutant because she's they know because remember last movie she was like a talking point of the Congress and all that shit.
Yeah, but some of them weren't maybe knowing, but like the reading of the thoughts were looking at them, or like, why are you staring at me and stuff, different things like that.
Yeah, fair. I guess I'm fast forwarding this shit, and then we cut to the field court, and we have Rogue, Scott, and Pyro. Not Scott.
Because Jean sensed that something's going on into the field court, and I bring that up because that's a plot point. She always knows where everything's happening. She's like, she's our Deus Ex Machina to get from place to place.
She gets this place to place, and she gives us this exposition too. Like, oh, thanks, Jean. If it wasn't for you, I want to know what's going on in this movie.
Essentially.
But anyways, the kids are teenagers being teenagers. They're getting bullied, I think, by some other.
No,
or are they the one bullying?
No, neither. Two kids that that you're calling bullies.
They're hitting on.
They came up and asked Pyro for a light, and he's being a dick about it.
That's not being a dick. It's his lighter. He can do whatever he wants with it.
He could have just said no, but he's like, maybe, I don't know. He's being a goose jerk off. That's what he was doing.
Anyways, jerk off.
Just to play off his character arc in this movie.
Character arc? Is it an arc? Because he's running that the whole movie.
Well, he's a jerk, but he's still with the X-Men and stuff like that. And then as the movie goes on and he sees Magneto's side of things.
Yeah. So anyways, like, a little stuff breaks out. Does Pyro set them on fire? Then Scott?
No. Did you watch this movie?
Yeah, I watched this movie. He doesn't set them on fire. I know the Iceman gets the guy iced over.
No, the guy gets fed up with his shit and takes the lighter.
Yeah.
And then he comes over and...
sets them on fire. I'm not setting them on fire, but like he ignites his cigarette.
It and it's an explosion, yeah.
And then Bobby says, oh no, and like, here's some ice for you. Cool off. Oh man, has anyone done that for Bobby in this movie? Arnold's lines over him? That's hilarious.
It's not. I'm the one that does the puns.
Oh man. So he says cool off, and the kid's like, what the hell? And they freeze. Everybody freezes but the mutants.
But you gotta explain, because you just said Iceman in the same thing as freeze.
Oh,
the Iceman just freezes the entire cast? Is that what just happened there?
It's hilarious. Everyone, would you say freeze at that point? They all froze and split. Like, they all stood still.
Time stopped, essentially.
Yeah, time stopped.
Well, not really. Time still continued on.
The people froze.
Everybody stopped in motion in place.
Yes. And why is that? Because Professor X is tired of these kids' shit. And he says, listen, if you want to show off next time, don't. It froze these people because I'm tired of your shit. Let's get out of here.
And if Professor X can do this, why doesn't he do this in like fights and stuff like that? Why? And like stop everything that happens? I mean, this is super overpowerful, and it just brings up so many plot holes.
It does.
Well, I guess it doesn't affect mutant.
It can. He just chose not to do mutants. He chose not to do his people.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just doesn't explain.
No.
It just brings up so many, like, Professor X, you're not doing anything. You're just letting these things happen.
Which is like, it's like, I hate doing metaphors in this. But I guess like in a way that God exists, like he just let things happen, plays out, like let you guys learn from your mistakes and your teachings. That's what Professor X is doing. I'm not saying he's God, but he's letting him do. You do your acts of whatever and just learn from what you're doing. I can't control everything at all times. I'm always here for you kids. He's a dad.
But if he can stop things in motion, why didn't he just stop Dan from breaking at the end?
Oh, I have the whole issue about that. Ever since I was a kid, I always hated that. Like, why is she dying? There's no reason for her to die here. It's just stupid.
That's my whole point, though. There's so many instances where he could just stop everything.
But again, at the end, because she wanted it, and she's like, okay, I'm letting you do your thing, even though I think it's really stupid, but do your thing.
Yeah, but when Magneto's dropping a bus on somebody, he could just stop that from happening.
Well, I don't think, he's only telekinesis, right? That's mind stuff, where Jean Grey can control things in general, right?
Yes, apparently.
So he can only do people's minds, not objects.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but like I said, why doesn't he just stop Magneto from dropping a bus on somebody?
Because Magneto has the helmet on.
Or Pyro from setting people on fire. Or when the Blob ate the Wasp at one time. So, I mean, he could just literally stop fighting from happening.
Yeah, but people don't learn nothing from not fighting. Well, these people always say
well, he could save so many people, but he just lets them up. That's for the greater good, I guess.
Yeah. Are you saying he's a bad guy or something?
I'm saying his powers in this open too many plot holes. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I disagree. Anyways, after the fight, they go back to the X-Mansion, and Professor X lays some exposition down. Listen, girls. Listen, Storm and Jean. There's a new mutant out there. He's fast. The guy that attacked the White House. You guys go find him. Last time I tracked him, he's this way. Go. Get. They go and get.
That's not what happens at all.
What happens?
He has the conversation saying that I'm going to need you to go after him when he comes, but they don't go yet.
They go. They leave. Oh.
No, they don't.
I know, but like...
They don't leave yet.
They're going to get ready to leave, and then Wolverine shows up.
Yeah, but they didn't go.
What they're going and get, and they're going to go and get.
But they didn't go. That's not what you said.
Scott and what's his name? Professor X are going to go to Magneto right now, right? Or no?
They don't say that here, but that's going to be coming, yes.
That's pretty much what's going on. And that's that section of the scene. Next scene is William Stryker shows up at the White House to examine what happened and who attacked him, why attacked the president. They talk for Stryker and the president. Stryker tries to get some permission to go into the X-Mansion. With Senator Kelly there. It's like a whole little meeting of all the bad guys.
Well, it's Mystique's as Senator Kelly.
I was going to get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you guys remember from last movie, he died, Senator Kelly. Mystique took his identity. So they talk.
So I got a question.
What's up?
So, like, the second half of this movie, Mystique just disappears with Magneto, essentially.
Yes.
Does anyone not wonder where Senator Kelly is?
Oh, that's my other, like, how did she, like, live his life for these few days, months, however long this movie takes place after the other one?
I would assume so.
Like,
I mean, are they holding, like, a Senate hearing at that point, and he's just missing from there?
I guess. Like, when she's living his life, she knows how he talks and how he acts and how he looks, obviously, but she doesn't know, like, his personal life details, does she? Like, how do you, like, I don't know. It's to get plot holes. Like, how you, like, is he married? Is he have a family? How's he act with his wife and children? How she know this?
Maybe she just divorced him.
Just ruin. That wouldn't ruin his life because he's already dead, so it'd be easier for them. That'd be nice of her, actually. Yeah. I want a divorce. It's got to be done by the time I get Magneto out. I mean, divorce. Okay, that's fair. So yeah, but yeah, after he's gone, like, yeah, does anyone like, where's Kelly at? Because they never mention him again, do they? In the movies?
No, he never shows back up
ever again. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Is he in the next one?
I don't think he's in it, but I don't know if they mention him or not. But I'm curious.
I don't remember.
Curious. Anyways, so they're talking. The president approves of it, kind of. He does approve it, right? Yeah, I guess
he approves it, but they're not allowed to kill any kids on the 6 o'clock news.
Yes. Stryker leaves the office. Kelly, Mystique comes after him. That's where Mystique is introduced to Kelly's right hand lady. It's what's her name? Deathstrike. And they have like a little off, like, you can't do this. I won't do this. I want to see Magneto. You can't see Magneto. He's bad. War. Next up after that is Magneto. I think after this, right? Now it's Bobby and on the road kissing.
Yep.
A little love sequence.
Well, we get an introduce a cameo from Colossus here too.
Yeah, another thing I like about this movie is how they always tease at mutants, but not really telling them who they are, even though you kind of know who they are.
They show their power. If they show their powers, you know who they are.
Yeah, but like if you're not a fan, why are you watching X-Men? Entertainment. Like in Deadpool, they do it. Like they do, like, oh, here's so and so, here's so and so, and here's so and so. Like I like name drops, but I don't like gratuitous name drops. So that makes sense.
I mean, it's supposed to be a mansion full of kids at a school, essentially. So seeing these people here would make sense.
No, and I'm saying it does make sense, but like if you're showing off the popular ones, you should say who they are.
Well, are they supposed to have nameplates under them?
No, but he can, like, if Colossus is like, oh, I'm hi Wolverine, I'm Colossus, I'm so and so, aka Colossus. I don't know.
Why would they introduce themselves as Colossus? That's not how that works.
My name is so and so, but on the team I'm called Colossus.
No, not on the team though. He's just a kid.
Why is he a kid? Is he ever a kid in the show?
Because they de-aged everyone. Rogue's not a kid in the show. I mean, in the show at all.
That's dumb. Is she not?
Well, she started as a villain, as an adult villain.
Was she an adult? I didn't know that. I thought she was always a kid. Huh.
So was Iceman. Iceman was one of the original X-Men.
Yeah. Why are they kids in this?
Because
that's stupid. Then why do you age them? That's dumb.
That's what they decided to do.
Whatever. Anyways, yeah, we're at the X Mansion. Bobby and Rogue are dating, kind of. No physical contact, obviously. And we're introduced to who's back, guys? Logan's back in town.
We're not introduced to anyone. Logan just comes back.
Yeah, we're introduced to him. Reintroduced him.
We already saw him.
Listen, TJ, I say what I want to say. I say how I want to say it.
Stop being wrong with your words.
And Logan shows back up. It's a Walkman party. Jean's happy to see him. Scott's not happy to see him. Scott's like, "Where's my bike at? Like, it's on empty. Here's her keys." Scott's fill it back up. He throws back the keys. That's pretty much it. As Jean and Storm go out.
Not necessarily. They ask him to babysit. That's an important moment.
Is it? Oh, I guess it is. Yeah. As the girls.
This is where we're establishing all the major characters are leaving. All the kids by themselves. So what were they going to do if Logan didn't show up? Were they just going to leave the kids by them unattended in the school by themselves?
Why is there not more staff for this big ass building? You're right. You're very right. Those are only 3 or 4 teachers we've seen this whole movie series as those people.
There are a lot of plot holes in this movie.
That's a big building. Who's cleaning that building?
The kids.
That's some slave labor shit. Okay.
Not necessarily. In Japan, they make the students clean the schools and stuff.
That's true. Which is pretty cool, I think. So yeah, Logan comes just in time, like you said. That's dumb. That's really dumb. That's Star Trek level stupid. I don't like that. Anyway, so Logan's going to babysit the kids while the adults are out to play. Then we got the Magneto and his little glass, plastic. It's glass or
Glass.
plastic.
Nope, just plastic.
And when he does the dumbass marble scene, he goes through glass, does he not?
No, he's breaks it into plastic.
You're an idiot. It's glass or plastic. He goes to his black glass plastic prism.
Prison.
Prism.
A prism is kind of like a diamond shape. That's a colorful diamond shape. It's not a
I call this a prism.
prism is different. It's spelled differently. It's SM, whereas prison is SON.
I know. So yeah, Magneto's reading a book as Stryker and a security guard come in. Security guard's got kind of a big part, but not really. I don't know what you call that big part.
He's a plot device.
Is that what you call him? Plot device?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a person that we use for the movie. He beats the shit out of Eric.
You say that, but he only hits him with the club once.
Yeah, but he's a weak old man.
Like when you say beat the shit out of him, you implying that he's got him on the ground and kicking him over and over again.
You take a club to an old man's face.
It's messed up, but it's not beating the shit out of him. He hits him in the face.
That's doing some damage, man.
I didn't say it didn't.
What?
I'm just saying. I'm not saying it doesn't.
Xavier wanders his way into Cerebro as Professor X is putting it on, about to go look for this fast-moving mutant. Wolverine's asking, there was nothing. Wolverine's saying to Professor X, there was nothing up at that lake. There was nothing. You got to read my mind again, sir. I need to know who I am, where I came from. Professor X, like, in due time, I just did the best I could. Well, Professor X just avoids his question in the first place. It just tells Wolverine how Cerebro works. Excuse me. And shows him all the white dots are humans and all the red dots are mutants. And there's a lot of red dots and a lot of white dots. And you're not as alone you think in the universe as you think, Wolverine. And there's the mutant. He's going this way. He's a teleporter mutant because he goes fast. Takes the thing off, tells Wolverine, I can't read your mind again. I got everything I got out of it. It's up to you to decide how to decipher what I told you. So after Wolverine and Professor X have their conversation with Cerebro, we cut to the girls' night out. It's Jean and Storm. I hate that they're together. I feel like that's weird. Because every movie's like, let's put the girls together. Like, why?
No, they're out of the way because they're too powerful to be in the other scenes.
That too. I think all the mutants in general are overpowered. Even Pyro is powerful as shit.
But if Jean or Storm were with Xavier when they're kidnapped, they wouldn't be kidnapped.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Anyways, they're flying to get the guy, and we cut back to Mystique in Center Kelly form, turning into Deathstrike, and she's going to infiltrate Stryker's office. She goes in, she goes to the computer, she finds where Magneto's located, gets that info, but also she comes across Stryker's plan. Should I mention the plan now? Should I mention it later?
Your review.
Which do you think is easier?
I don't think it matters.
We don't know it yet, but we saw the pieces to it.
I don't think it matters.
I'll say it now. We come across Stryker's plan. We don't learn it now, we learn it later, but I'm going to say it now, get out the way for you people. Stryker's plan is to get the things from Cerebro, the blueprints from Cerebro, get the material from Cerebro, and make his own version of Cerebro to not target humans, but to target mutants, and to kill them all off. If he's just getting certain parts of Cerebro to target just mutants, how come Magneto reverse it to target everyone else?
Because it's the organization of where the panels are, apparently.
Oh, that's right. He does move them around, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Forget about that. Okay. So as Mystique's doing this, the real Lady Deathstrike comes...
Sure.
Is that her name?
Yes.
Okay. The real Lady Deathstrike comes on into her office, Strike's office. And, suspense is happening. What's going to happen? She's going to catch her. Who knows? Oh, she doesn't.
Not really that suspenseful.
It's not, but it plays stuff like that for some reason. Lady Deathstrike sees there's a janitor in there cleaning out their trash. There's actually Mystique guys with the newspapers or papers in the trash bin. Mystique walks out unscathed, and that's the end of that scene. We come up to the ladies, Jean Grey and Storm, and they're at the abandoned church. And that's where they find Nightcrawler at. He's saying, get out, get out, get out. I'm on baffled.
He's a ghost in the haunted church.
Yes, a demon. So yeah, as they're talking to him, they find out who he is and where he's from. He's a German circus performer. He's gone through a lot of shit in his life. And yeah, it's like Crawler's backstory pretty much, guys. He got taken by Stryker, got brainwashed by his serum, and that's why he attacked the place.
You didn't mention back when Stryker visited Magneto.
Oh, I didn't?
No.
I was supposed to, but we got
sidetracked.
You're right. Magneto also had the same mark on the back of his neck, and he was also brainwashed by this liquid to tell Stryker all the information about Cerebro and X-Mansion, everything about Charles.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm sorry about that. I'm so sorry. So yeah, so the girls meet Nightcrawler. He's pretty cool, guys. I don't get much of him. In this version, he has markings on himself or angelic symbols because he cuts them into himself from all his sins. I think it's cool kind of, but stupid at the same time. I don't think any other versions like that has that. Does he?
I'm not that familiar with the X-Men comics to know that deep of a lore cut.
Can't believe you. So after they talk to him, we get to...
What I don't understand is...
What's up?
Storm uses electricity to knock him out of the ceiling,
Hey.
and then Jean catches him with her telekinesis.
Yes.
Why doesn't he just teleport?
I thought the same thing. I swear to God, I thought the same thing. But I feel like it answers the question at the end of the movie where he wants to teleport to help her, but he says she's not letting me.
Yeah, but at this point in the movie, she's super weak and doesn't have control of her abilities.
Yes. So I don't know. I thought the same... Even as a kid, I thought the same thing. Why is this teleport out of there?
Yeah.
Teleportation is such a strong thing to have. Why not just get out of the situation?
Yeah.
But maybe he realized they weren't there to harm him, so okay, I'll listen to you guys.
But they knocked him out of the ceiling by exploding the ground underneath of him.
Yeah. And those are threats. The mutants are powerful, man. I got a question for you about mutants, honestly, in this universe. Why do people hate mutants? I can understand the fear of mutants, but why hate them so much that you make them do the things you're afraid of them doing?
It's an allegory for racism.
I get it. But if it's a mutant, I would never be on the bad side of a mutant. I'd be the best friend ever.
Yeah, but people are the same way, even with people of different races and colors who are built and athletic and stuff, and they don't seem to be afraid of them.
I mean, I wouldn't, but if someone could blast fire out their hands, I'd be afraid of that.
And honestly, it's the fear of those things that really cause them to do it. It's the fear of those powers, the fear of the other person, that causes them to do the things that they do.
I get that, but I'm not racist or anything I'm not any of the ists or isms that I know of, so I just don't get that mindset.
You might want to cut that part out of it, because if you have to explain that you're not,
to my knowledge, I'm not like that. So I just don't get that mindset of being so petrified and afraid of someone who's different. I just find it weird, realistically and story-wise, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's different ways people are brought up.
Yeah,
when you're raised on nothing but fear and hatred. That's all you know.
But wouldn't you? I got it easier said than done. Wouldn't you just learn over time that bringing up was kind of not wrong?
Not if you're never outside of that little bubble that you live in.
Isn't it easier to get the bubble? That's harder to get the bubble nowadays, I feel.
Yeah, and even so, even this day and age, if you don't like someone's talking about, you go find someone who will support the way you think.
Anyways, we go to Wolverine. He's sleeping. He's got nightmares of his past and of the next project. And oh god, he just wakes up in a cold sweat. He's in the X Mansion, and he's going to get something to drink. He comes across other kids who aren't sleeping because they don't sleep. One's watching TV because he doesn't sleep. He's changing the channel for his eyes as a remote, which I think is the weakest power ever. And then
I think that's just a part of his power.
I know. He's probably a junior Professor X, I guess, or something.
No, he's probably got electromagnetism powers.
Oh, that'd be a deadly power to have too. Any of these powers, if he's used right, can be so deadly. It's fascinating. And then he comes to Bobby, who's eating ice cream, I think. Eating ice cream.
I don't know. He's either eating ice cream or yogurt or cottage cheese.
Probably cottage cheese. Something dairy related, guys. That's coming from the fridge.
It's in a very bland looking tub. It's hard to tell.
Wolverine gets a warm Dr. Pepper. He hands it to Bobby. Bobby freezes it up. He starts drinking. And they talk and bond over this way. All during the same time, Scott and Professor X show up to Magneto's. They talk to Magneto. They realize Magneto did Magneto things and told Stryker all the information. Magneto's upset about it. It's a trap. They get gassed. Professor X gets gassed and knocks out. Scott comes face to face with Lady Deathstrike.
Nope.
Okay. So Scott kind of fights her, but not really. She knocks him out.
Yeah, that's not much of a fight. He shoots. His eye beams are not that strong in this.
And I have to say, they're very. The first one, it took out half of the subway station. This one, nothing.
I mean, I know he can control the power density with those goggles that he uses.
Yeah.
But he shoots regular people with them, and they get back up.
Yes. But again, same thing with Pyro's blast. That's fire. You shoot it at someone's face, they're going to die.
They wouldn't necessarily die with fire. They just get burnt.
At least have some kind of scar tissue. He shot 2 cops off the balcony. It was fire blast. And it's just covered in soot. That's it.
I mean, it's PG-13.
I know.
But this fight isn't very enthralling. Cyclops gets a short staff in this movie.
In the next movie.
Well, this whole series, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he gets his ass handed to him right here.
Now, is he a fighter, though? I know he's one of the X-Men leaders, and he's got the eye beams, but is he a good character that wise?
I think they're all trained in hand-to-hand combat and stuff.
Okay. Well, while this is going on, while Professor X is getting knocked out, why Scott got knocked out as well, Back to the X Mansion. Something's not right. Wolverine hears something. He smells something.
This is the best scene in the movie.
Oh, yeah. The opening sequence and this sequence are like the best 2 scenes in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like, the action is really done well in these movies. After that,
like
just,
this is actually a dark, intense scene.
it was funny, and then I was reading the wiki. It's supposed to be rated R. The movie was rated R at first because of the sequence, because it was more actiony, more bloody because of Wolverine. But yeah, this is like the first time we see Wolverine become really Wolverine. And oh yeah, what happens, guys, is Stryker soldiers infiltrate the X Mansion, and they start shooting out kids with tranquilizer guns and attacking people. Wolverine goes on offense and starts slicing these peoples up, going into the chest, their feet, everywhere.
Yeah, no, he's murdering these people.
Yeah, there's no questions about it. These people are dead. He gets them to shoot each other up. It's awesome.
So he's killing these guys, right?
Yeah.
Are they X-Men?
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. That was good. Anyways, these people are just chaos in the sequence. Go watch the movie. It's good. Kids running around. Wolverine, Bobby, Rogue, Colossus are on the offense, gathering the kids up and getting them out of here. And so it's Pyro. So yeah,
that's not true at all.
That's not. Colossus does.
Colossus is doing that. Bobby, Iceman, and is searching for Rogue.
Yeah.
And he doesn't give a crap about anyone else.
It's about his girlfriend, man.
And then he finds his friend Pyro, and they're like, "Where's Rogue? I don't know. Let's go find Rogue."
What about these kids?
Oh, who cares? We gotta go find Rogue. It's important.
Is it important, though? I got a question about Colossus.
It's selfish, that's for sure.
Hell yeah. Well, they're kids. They're teenagers, so I let it pass.
I'm just saying, you were wrong what you said. I just pointed it out.
Whatever. Colossus. Can he always turn his thing on and off, or is it always on? So I always thought it was on all the time.
Every time I've seen him outside of this movie, I think it's been on.
That's what I thought.
I honestly don't. I have never actually given that much thought.
Okay. I had to ask you because you're the nerd guy, but apparently not. Anyways, yeah.
I'm the nerd guy.
Bobby and Iceman.
Yet you watch shitty movies all the time.
Shitty movies? I don't watch shitty movies. I play D&D all the time. Get it right. Bobby and Iceman are looking on for Rogue, like you said. They find her. They all catch up. They get surrounded by some guys with guns. They're about to shoot them. But Wolverine comes in time, screams as he jumps off the thing to where the people he's there, and just slices the other 4 guys down. It's badass. It's great. So they're on the run. They get to a secret tunnel. Wolverine lets the kids go, closes it, and he goes to get Stryker. He comes face to face with Stryker. They have some little dialogue. Wolverine wants to fight him, but before they can even touch each other, Bobby comes and makes an ice wall between the two. And that effect is really cool. Like they use like legit ice or something. It looks really good.
Yeah, it couldn't be that hard to make an ice wall, though. So
I guess no, you don't think so?
No, you just get a big chunk of ice. It's like people do ice sculptures. So how hard is it going to be to do like a wall?
To keep that thing like solid while all that film lights are on there, that had to be a bitch to keep up, man.
I guess.
That's real ice, too. That's awesome. Anyways, Wolverine and the kids get out. Stryker blows the ice up. And yeah, that's the sequence. Oh, the kids and the Wolverine get to the garage.
So, Colossus seems to be able to turn his powers off and on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So sometimes he's forced to stay in metal mode when he's injured so that it can heal, I guess.
Oh, okay.
But other than that, he can apparently turn it off and on.
But every other time I've seen him, he's always had his thing on. Live action or animation or whatever. So yeah, the kids and Wolverine, the older kids of Wolverine get to the garage. I don't know what happens to the other kids at this point. The rest of the kids of Colossus, they just disappear for the rest of the movie.
They take a different channel and come out through like a sewer grate, and they leave the premises.
Where do they go?
We never find out.
Yeah, it's weird. So
I mean, we just assume they're safe.
I would hope so. Shit. Wolverine and the high schooler kids. So Wolverine, Bobby, Pyro, and Rogue. They get to the garage, take one of Scott's cars, and they beeline to Boston. And what's in Boston?
Where's Bobby's parents apparently live?
We're going to Boston in the first place. That's where the last time they heard Storm and Jean Grey were. But yeah, Bobby's parents are there too. So, small world, guys. Wolverine finds a photo there, but he doesn't know how to operate it.
And his parents don't know that he's a mutant. They think he's in a prep school.
Yes. That sequence is so awkward. Back in the X Mansion.
It's an allegory for
coming out.
Gay. Yeah.
So on the nose. Back at the X Mansion, Stryker and the goons, they infiltrate Cerebro. They take what they need from it and then leave the school. Which I think they would destroy the school or something, honestly. But no, they just take Cerebro.
No, they want the school. They want Cerebro. They want the pieces.
I know, something after you take Cerebro's pieces, why not just destroy the school?
Because that brings attention onto it.
Why not just take everything out of it? Why did
that school? Why did this army just destroy this school?
Maybe because of demolition.
No.
Well, is it like most? At this point, aren't like most Americans afraid of the mutants, anyways?
No.
Or is it like minority that's just the loudest?
It's like 50-50 at this point.
Oh my god, destroyed the school. You don't have to blame the military. Just say it was like a random pipe bombs or a gas leak
and
or something.
cause more panic? Sure.
Yeah, why not? You're a government. You're gonna win anyways.
You don't know nothing about PR.
So yeah, after Stryker takes all this stuff, we cut to the security guard from Magneto's last prison. He's at a bar drinking beer by himself. Sad security guard. And on the news, it's Dr. Hank the Beast, whatever his last name is. McCoy.
McCoy.
Yeah, Hank McCoy.
I was thinking Pym for a minute there. I think that's not the right hero. But he's not in mutant form.
He's not. It's before he became a mutant.
Which is weird, because at this point in the comics, he would already be.
Well, in the next movie, he's a beast. So I guess between the movies, he did the thing.
In the next movie, he's played by a different person.
No, he's played by Kelsey Graham.
Yeah,
it's funny. But yeah, at the bar, the guy's by himself. Security's by himself, and it's a little pretty late. There's a pretty lady next to him across the bar. Drink by herself too. She comes over, brings him some beer. Like, hey, you want to drink this? Let me be, sexual partners for a little bit. Like, yeah, sure, why not? They drink up. They get to a dirty bathroom. He finishes beer, realizes, oh, I'm drugged from the beer, and passes out. She's like,
I don't think he realizes it
he doesn't. I forgot to mention it was drugged. She drugged him. She flips him over. It's Mystique in disguise, guys. She injects him with some extra iron pills. That's going to be important later, guys. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink.
Is that what that was? It looked like a whole giant needle full of iron.
God damn, that is. He only got 3 balls out of that. Wow, that's a lot of iron. That's insane. Now we cut back to Professor X. He's like in this contraption, so he can't read anyone else's mind. He's talking to Stryker. They're at the abandoned military base, the island, the lake.
Did you mention that they broke into Cerebro and steal it?
So we get some exposition about Stryker's fast past. Stryker's son was experimented by on Stryker and Professor X, I guess, right?
No.
To cure his mutism?
Not how it happened at all.
That's what it sounded like. What are you saying?
He sent his son to Professor X school, and he did what Professor X does. He tried to help them with his powers, but he didn't want that. He wanted his son cured of his mutant genes.
That was half right.
But he couldn't help him with that, so when he left school, he came back, and the son started torturing the parents with
his powers.
Powers, essentially.
His wife kills herself.
With a power drill.
Yeah.
And then he decided to go experiment on his son.
That's f***ed up. That's why I don't get that. That's why I get it's an allegory for all this shit, and I get it. I just don't get that mindset. It's just a weird mindset to me. Let me experiment on my son to hopefully fix everyone. That's just so weird. Anyways.
The son was torturing him.
I get that, but either put him down or get away from him. I'm not going to experiment on the crazy
Well, what's to stop the next mutant from doing the same thing? Just saying, there is a reason for it.
No, and I get that. I get the fear, but I just don't get it. I get it, but I don't understand it. Or however I should phrase that.
You don't have that. You're kind of in that minority. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I guess if I was that person, that basic generic person, I guess I'd be afraid. But I don't know.
I mean, no. It's just like I said. It's all on how you're raised.
Yeah.
But because you're a minority, you're raised way differently than someone who's more privileged.
Yeah, I guess. Well, yeah. So, anyways, exposition. Son's bad. Try to kill the mom. They kind of kill the mom, I guess. Stryker wants revenge and wants the kid to get into Professor X's mind and make him do Professor X stuff.
He wants Professor X to use Cerebro to kill everybody.
Yeah, sorry, I was texting. Yeah, what TJ said. Yes. And then we cut, and after that, getting in that sequence, we cut to back to Bobby's house. We're at Bobby's house. Bobby gets Rogue some clothes because she's in tatters, I guess. Logan's striking.
Well, they're all in their pajamas still.
Logan's trying to get this phone to work he found in the car. He gets a beer because he likes a beer. And Pyro's doing Pyro stuff. He's looking at a picture of Bobby's family. He's just jealous and sad he's a family like that. So we cut back to Magneto's prison. The guard had a good night. He's happy. He doesn't remember what happens. He goes into the prison. Gives Magneto his breakfast. Magneto doesn't eat it. He's like, oh, there's something else different about you today, sir. I'm like, oh, you have extra iron in your blood. It just epically takes all the iron out this guy's body. Which is, again, OP of a character.
And makes him an X-Man, too.
Kills the guy. Makes 3 metal balls. Breaks through the windows. Makes a flying disc fly on one. Goes towards the guards. Kills the other guards. And that's the end of that sequence. Magneto's free. Oh, no, guys. Next up, I think we go back to Bobby's house. Bobby's parents come home. They see Logan drinking some beer. It's like, oh, what's this man in the house for? Bobby and the rest of the guys come down. They have a conversation. Hey, Mom and Dad, I'm not going to prep school. I go to the X mansion. I'm a mutant. They're all mutants. That's what's up. They're like, oh no, our son's gay. I mean, a mutant. Oh no. If you try not being a mutant, the brother's not happy with it. The mom's kind of trying to get to it, I guess. Dad's not cool with it, etc., etc. Brother goes to call the cops because
I always found this part hard to believe.
really
The brother going upstairs and calling the cops on his brother because he's a mutant.
I could believe it.
There's no backstory showing us why he would do this.
There isn't backstory why he would call the cops, but my headcanon, he's always been jealous of the brother, I guess. And I don't know.
You shouldn't have to come up with your own headcanon to excuse a character's actions.
But he also, I guess, would be afraid of not just his brother, but the other people he's with, even Wolverine. So I guess he's like, I don't like this. I'm afraid.
Yeah,
I hate
but
this.
you would think a kid like that would defer to his parents if he's in that situation.
You would think so, yeah, for sure.
It would be more believable if the dad did it.
Yeah, yes, not the brother.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense.
Because the dad's just on the same page as the brother of all three of them, I think, because he's not even saying anything in the whole movie. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I found this whole sequence. First of all, the whole sequence is unnecessary. We could cut this whole part out.
I liked it a little bit. I liked it. I hated it too, but I like it in it.
But it's still, even if whether it's good or bad, it's unnecessary.
I don't think it's unnecessary.
There's no reason why they couldn't just get picked up by Jean and Storm.
Well, I like the whole, because it shows that Pyro's going down that Scrooby and not the good guy stuff, but like, I'm gonna attack these cops. The cops attacked Wolverine. Like, he's like, I like that section of it. So I get why we had it.
But you don't need it, is what I'm saying.
I think so.
It's
not
not
else we're
necessary.
gonna show Pyro going down that rabbit hole.
They put him looking at the pictures? Oh, you mean when he's attacking
Yeah.
I mean, you could have easily had that. I mean, they were just raided by the mansion. They're escaped fugitives. They could be seen on the road.
Oh, okay, so they went with that storyline instead. And yeah, I'm fine with that.
I mean, I'm just saying the whole them going to Bobby's house is not needed. The whole, I get why they're doing it, but you can even put that allegory, and they needs to be written better.
Yes.
Is what I'm saying.
Okay, I get. It's my same argument. Like, why are all the gay characters on X-Men? It's just lazy. Okay, so yeah. I get that. I get what you're saying.
But it's also like at the same point, like we don't get any scenes with this family up to this point. Why would they not be okay with his son being this way? Why is the brother jealous of him enough to be able to go and call the cops on his own brother?
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just there's no motivation. These characters are plot devices.
I think a lot of anyone who's not a main character in this is a plot device.
Yeah, I know, but this one is particularly stood out to me because
it did for me too. I'm trying to defend it, I guess. I don't know. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. We cut to Jean Grey. Well, not even Jean Grey. We cut to Rogue Storm. We cut to Storm talking to Nightcrawler, and they're just having like a little philosophical conversation about religion and not believing in shit like that. They go back to Bobby's house.
No, they did not actually.
Yeah, they do.
It's faith versus anger.
Yeah, same thing.
For some reason, Storm's angry.
Yeah.
Her whole motivation for being angry in this moment makes no sense because she wasn't really angry up until this point.
Exactly.
And then she's not angry at all after this point.
No.
It's just so that we can have, Nightcrawler said, faith can drive you as well as anger, and so that she can say, I have faith for you to teleport through the door you can't see later. That's all this conversation is for. This is also pointless and actually makes no sense in the context of anything.
Hey man, bad writing's bad writing. So, Jean gets in contact with Wolverine. Wolverine picks up the call. He goes outside. They call, I'm here at Bobby's house. Come get us and make it fast. He goes back in. He realizes the house is surrounded by cops. He tries to get the kids out of there quickly. They get to the front. He's got his claws out because he's ready to attack.
I have another question.
Yeah.
Do all the teachers at Xavier's Academy have every student's where they're from memorized?
No, probably in the database. Probably, for some reason, in the database, which is connected to the...
They got a database on their jet?
It's probably connected to the jet, exactly.
Or is there like an old-fashioned file cabinet on that jet somewhere, and then they just open it up and pull out the folder?
It's so terrible. Well, yeah, it's got the phone numbers, the contacts. It makes sense, though, because if you're training kids to fight shit like this, and you accidentally get one killed in line of duty, whoopsies, let's contact them.
They're cut off from the mansion, though, where all that stuff would be.
Yeah. No, that plane should definitely be tracked down by now. She kind of is. It is tracked down later on.
Yeah, but my point is they shouldn't know where his house is.
I think they should. Like I said, the plane is connected to the mainframe in the school, so they share the same database.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see.
They just pull it up on the plane.
There's a computer on that plane. Is what you're telling me?
Why? Come on. Is that hard to believe, TJ?
that there's a computer with access to the internet and files and stuff on that jet plane there?
Yes.
Well, I didn't see it. Did you?
Headcanon. I didn't make the movie, man. I'm still trying to defend this movie. So we have Wolverine's out front with the kids. He got knives in his claws out. Officers are surrounding the house. They put the knives down. He's like, I can't. They're part of me. I can't put them down. He pushes them up slowly to show them that they're.
Yeah, but he can retract them.
I know.
Why didn't he just retract them?
Exactly. They already know you're a mutant as it is. If they don't know you're a mutant, they're gonna shoot you for being a mutant. Just get rid of the weapons. Yeah, it's stupid, isn't it?
That was stupid.
Yeah. He's, for some reason, I thought it was dumb for him to go out with his knives out in the first place. Like, okay, I get it.
I mean, I guess he thought it was Stryker.
I guess. But he puts his knives up, hands up slowly, and the cop shoots him right in the face. Right in the forehead. Like, damn, good shot, bro. Wolverine drops like a sack of potatoes. The other kids are going down because they're afraid now. Pyro's like, nah, I'm gonna set this bitch on fire. Starts fireballing. He fireballs 2 cops next to them, and then fireballs all the cop cars. And just mayhem happens. Well, Rogue's like, no, not today. Puts her hand on Pyro's ankle. He loses his powers. She gains his powers. Sucks away all the fire on the things. They get up. Wolverine stands up with the thing out of his head now. And they just walk to the jet as the jet lands. And that's the end of that sequence.
I'm remembering the next movie in this.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to... That house that they're in, Bobby's house, looks exactly like the house that Professor X dies in.
Yeah. Same cul-de-sac and everything. No.
Yeah, they use the same set.
I don't think so, because I remember the cul-de-sac they used had less trees in it.
Okay.
I do remember. Yeah, that house could be the same house.
It looks exactly, if I remember correctly, but I haven't seen that movie in a long time, so maybe I'm wrong.
I watch that movie every week, man. It's such a good movie. So anyways, they leave. Bobby looks back at his house. He sees his family all staring down at him. I hate that sequence too. And that's the last you ever see of them. They're on the plane. There's a reunion. I was freaked out to see a Nightcrawler because he's a blue creature looking dude who speaks Ukrainian. I guess when he speaks freaking English.
What?
Where's he from? Russia or Ukraine?
Who?
A Nightcrawler.
He's German.
Sure.
He's speaking German.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Like, wait, what?
Anyways, they're all going to. Where are they headed to?
I would assume back to the mansion.
Yeah.
That's where they were headed. This is where they get shot down.
No, not shot down yet. We cut back to Professor X. He's in his mind palace kind of thing. He's at the X mansion in his mind. It's abandoned.
Well, he's not in his mind palace.
I know he's not.
He's trapped in an illusion.
Yes, he's in an illusion in his mind. He's at the X mansion, riding around his little scooter, his wheelchair. It's abandoned, but there's this little girl. She's lost and confused. Like, I don't know where my mommy and daddy's at. We did the Cerebro to help me find my mommy and daddy. Professor's like, okay, girl, I got you.
That's not what she says at all.
What does she say, TJ?
Professor X asks her where all the other students is, and she's like, I don't know. And he says, well, let's go find them.
Yeah, because they're mutants.
Let's use Cerebro to find them. Yeah. She doesn't mention parents at all.
I'm paraphrasing, okay, TJ?
Well, no, paraphrasing means you're using what's already there and shortening it. You're just adding things that don't exist.
I'm paraphrasing my mind's logic, okay? Okay, so then we get back to the jet. They're on their way to the X mansion, but what's happening? They're approached by 2 fighter jets, and they're getting told they can lower their altitude and get escorted somewhere else. They're not going to respond, so the fighter jets back off and start shooting. They start locking them down for missiles. Mystique, nope. Storm goes crazy, and she doesn't go crazy. She lets the powers out and just makes some tornadoes, which is pretty cool to see. Takes down one fighter jet, almost takes down the other. The other fighter jet locks on at the last second, releasing 2 missiles, and then goes up in flames. Both the fighter jet pilots are fine. They ejected forward to dying. She stops the tornadoes. They think they're fine. Alarm goes off. Jean's like, I got this. She stops one missile from her hitting, loses focus for some reason, and the other one hits the back of the plane.
Yeah. What she keeps, throughout the whole movie, she keeps having these flare-ups in her eyes.
Yeah.
Which indicates, the Phoenix.
Yes.
Obviously. From what I remember, and I could be remembering it wrong, the Phoenix not inside her. They encounter it. It's like a cosmic being that inhabits her.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, so it's not like it's her. It's just something inhabited in her. So I don't know why they decided to make it in her throughout this whole movie. Because I think they find it out in space, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right. I for some reason, because I've only seen these movies, I've only known X-Men from the movies, so I always thought she was the Phoenix, like when she's like turned into it when she dies or whatever the hell goes through it.
No, the Phoenix inhabited other people too. There's been more Phoenixes. Jean's just the most powerful, I think.
Was Apocalypse one of the Phoenix or no?
I don't remember.
Interesting.
I don't think so. I don't think Apocalypse was the Phoenix, no.
Okay.
But I know there was other Phoenixes and stuff like that.
Phoenix Eye, not the Phoenixes. Okay, interesting. So yeah, she flares up. She loses control, focus. Planes hit in the back. They're going down. They're all going to die. And they're moving. Or now, for some reason, Magneto's there with Mystique. Of all the places from the crash land.
Wait, what?
They're going to crash. They're going to die here. That should be the end of the movie.
No, you said Magneto's doing what with Mystique?
For some reason, he's there in the middle of the woods for some reason.
Wow, I heard something completely different.
That's like I said, like...
I thought you said Magneto and Mystique.
No, he's there. He's... Oh, okay. So, yeah.
I was like, wait, what?
Oh, that's my other question. I know Nightcrawler is Mystique's son, and
Yes.
Rogue is Magneto's daughter?
No, Rogue is the adopted daughter of Mystique.
Okay, so does Magneto have any kids?
Yeah, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch.
Okay, I thought he had kids, but I couldn't remember, and I felt like Googling it, and I figured you would know. So yes, Magneto catches the plane because he's there, Ex Machina style.
But to be fair, that's in the comics. They have no relation in this, apparently.
No, I knew that. Okay, I just wanted to double check that. Magneto catches the plane, Ex Machina style. He's like, man, you guys figure out how to fly. So this little laugh break, and then it cuts to night. Cuts to at night. Planes getting repaired. They're camping out together. Bad guys and good guys. They're all talking. Kumbaya, making s'mores. They're Magneto's going down, telling Logan and everyone else what Stryker's plan is and who they need to make the plan go. And I think they need Nightcrawler.
No.
Or does it...
Well, yes. This whole scene also doesn't really make sense. It's one thing to leave the kids out, but why are you leaving Nightcrawler out of it?
Exactly. Maybe because he's new.
I mean...
You don't trust him? I don't know.
And I trust Magneto and Mystique?
I mean, they just saved their lives, I guess. That's why they trust him.
And did you mention that he saves Rogue?
He saves Rogue? Oh, yeah, Nightcrawler, he does save Rogue. That's a pretty cool sequence.
She gets pulled out of the plane while it's crashing, and he teleports and saves her.
Yeah.
So he's more trustworthy than Magneto.
True.
But anyway, apparently Magneto knows where Stryker has a base and stuff like that. But he came to them because one of them knows where it is. And apparently because Nightcrawler was experimented on, he's been there.
Makes sense, but Logan thinks it's him. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And so Jean reads Nightcrawler's mind to find out that it's underneath Alkali Lake, because Logan was there in the beginning, but I guess he didn't bother to check for hidden doors or nothing like that. So
now I know the sequence also Magneto tells Logan about his past a little bit, but not much, obviously. He does tell him some stuff. Don't remember what it is, but he tells me some stuff. After this sequence of Kumbaya, Mystique does Mystique bullshit and tries to hit on Logan as Jean.
Well, no, that's not what happened.
I don't want to get this out the way now, or no?
Well, I got stuff to talk about here.
Okay, we won't talk about.
Well, the stupid love triangle stuff comes up again.
Which love triangle?
Wolverine, Cyclops, and Jean, where Wolverine's hitting on Jean and they kiss, and she's like, "I love Scott." That's all fine and well, but then he goes to his tent, and then Jean comes in, and suddenly it's Mystique, and she offers him to be anyone that he wants. Storm, Rogue, which is kind of gross.
Stryker.
In this, yeah, but. Why is she doing this?
Why is who doing this?
Mystique.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. She's doing her dumb bullshit, which makes no sense at all.
Why is she all of a sudden attracted to Logan?
I don't know. I think she's playing mind games. She's playing mind games, I guess.
No,
I don't know.
If Wolverine hadn't found the scars, it would have went all the way through.
Exactly. Those are the scars from the first movie.
So did she just want to get laid? Why?
I guess
she saw them talking and kissing, but it makes no sense. Her motivation here makes no sense.
No, not at all. I guess they figured, pretty lady, she's naked all the time. Let's have her try to have sex, I guess. It is stupid.
It was stupid.
Yeah, it's confusing and stupid. Just dumb all the way around. So after that, next morning, they'll go fly back to X Mansion.
No, they're going to Alkali Lake, where the Stryker is.
Thank you. They're going to the lake. Here, Magneto and Mystique make fun of Rogue's hair. They talk to the Pyro, like, hey.
Call back on first movie.
Yes. They talk with Pyro, they try to convince him. They're like, "Hey, come join our side." Essentially, and he's like,
That's
"Yeah."
not what happens at all.
They hand him a sign up sheet. He's like, "Oh, okay. Here's my name and phone number."
That's not what happens at all either.
For the most part, that's what happens.
Not really.
What happens?
He's asking them, "Are you guys the bad guys?" and stuff like that.
They're planting seeds of doubt in his head. Like, we're not the bad guys. I wear this because of the other bad guys.
You made it sound like that they're trying to recruit him, but they had no interest. But when he showed
come on, they're always recruiting everyone. If you're a mutant, they're gonna either be open about it or subconscious about it.
But they didn't even give him a second thought until he really brought it up, and Magneto. It shows Magneto's power of his personality and his ability as a leader and to convert people.
Yeah, he's so good at it. He's like, here's a sign up sheet. You're a mutant.
But that's not what happened. You're really underplaying that scene. It's an important scene.
Yeah, I put it through like he's going to have to be a bad guy later.
Yeah, but it is. It's also the culmination of Pyro's arc. Magneto's telling him, "You're a god among insects. Don't let anyone ever tell you this." Essentially, when he asks him his name, he's like, "What's your name?" And he says John or something, and he's like, "No, that's pretty much equivalent of what's your slave name?
What's your real name?"
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyways, we cut to the scene where Stryker has kids in prison and captions. They can't escape because the walls are electrified. The guards are asking why they have kids.
And they're in a pig.
Yeah. The guards ask why we can't get rid of this. Why do we have kids? And he's like, "I'm a scientist. An experiment." Man, the guards just like not be cool with that. Why are they cool with this?
That's not what happened.
He says that I'm a scientist.
He says, "I'm a scientist. When I build a machine, I have to make sure it works." So he's keeping the kids around so that he knows that when Xavier uses Cerebro, that the mutants are dying.
That's up.
I didn't say it wasn't. I'm just saying that's what happened. The way you explained it.
Yeah, I'm experimenting. That's what happens.
I'm experimenting on these kids doing different things, but that's not what he was doing at all.
Okay, back to the whole good guy group. They're doing a rundown on Stryker's Island, the little lake. They get hits how the dam works as water comes in for later guys. What else? We need you guys to do this because you have these powers, you have this power, so you gotta do this, this, and this. And I think that's it. Oh, Magneto's like, we're gonna need you to sneak in Wolverine, but we're not gonna use you. We're gonna use.
They don't go that much into detail.
They don't. I'm getting out the way now.
You explained that we were gonna use our powers to do this, and they don't do that at all.
They do. This Wolverine part, yeah.
The Wolverine part, yeah, that's true. They talk about the Wolverine part, what you're about to go into, but that implies that everything you said before also happened, but this is the only time they talk about their powers.
Listen, TJ, you want to do this?
This is what I'm talking about.
You want to do this?
No, that's fine. Continue. Just saying.
So Mystique as Wolverine sneaks into the base. She doesn't sneak in, she just walks into the front door. Stryker, where you at?
Well, she's disguised as Wolverine at this point.
That's what I said. Mystique as Wolverine walks into the base. Yeah. Stryker's happy to see Wolverine there, so he goes open the doors. Then he realizes that's not my creation. Kill this bitch. I don't know who that is. And there's a fight. She knocks out all the guards miraculously. No one shoots her for some reason. And
they try to shoot her.
They try, but there's no way they not shoot her.
Well, it's a movie. In movies, the henchmen are troopers.
If you complain about stuff, I can go. They're trained army men. They should have been a bullet in the head like 10 times by now.
And she's a super villainess.
A super villainess who just has no weapons, just athleticism.
Yeah, exactly.
That's dumb. Stryker is upset that people are getting into the base because more mutants get in. He tries to get into Cerebro because Mystique got into Cerebro. No, Mystique got to the main database area where she knows all the layout and all this shit. She locks it up. Stryker tries to get in, can't. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go do my shit. You guys get this open by the time I get back. So Professor X is still on his mission to find the mutants in his head. So he's going to Cerebro. He starts doing it. The group are talking and they decide they're trying to figure out how to get to say to people. Logan goes on his own way to fight Stryker, I think. And so they lose contact with him for a little bit. Stryker is serious. Okay, he goes to his son. Stryker heads up to his son and to Professor X. Tells his son to hurry it up. To start the process. Professor X starts beginning the process of finding and killing all the mutants. But it doesn't happen yet. It still takes some time.
This guy, Stryker, is a military general. He's got all this funding, right? Why does he have such a shitty place?
I don't know.
Like, if you look at Professor Xavier's Cerebro, it's all clean and spotless, but his looks like it's falling apart. You think you'd put a little more effort into it.
Which is funny, because I know there's a thing in this series is to always find a location and use it for the movie, the bridges or monuments. And they're always clean. So, why is this one? Yeah, why is this one so worn down and dirty on the inside?
Over 64 sets were used in 38 different locations.
That's interesting. Jean's with Magneto and Mystique. She sends Scott's around. She pushes those two in front of him as Scott goes to blast. Now Scott and Jean are fighting it out as Mystique and Magneto go.
It's not a very good fight either.
It's not, because it lasts a minute.
You would think, yeah, they didn't give it any time, and you would think a fight between Jean and Cyclops would be a little more exciting than it was.
Oh, you think it'd be epic. You think it'd be so good and emotional. You think it'd be emotional, if anything. They throw some fists.
Got no time. We got to make sure we get the Wolverine Deathstrike.
Yeah, exactly. Those two knock each other out after a big explosion, breaking the dam a little bit, which now puts a time crunch on the building because it's going to collapse soon. And Scott's back to normal after the blast, and they help each other out. Then we get to the kids who are found by...
And that's pretty much it for Cyclops. Yeah. He disappeared for an hour there, and then he got like 3 lines, and that's pretty much it.
Exactly.
And until the end.
He was the Green Arrow in this movie. Yeah, we get to the kids. We're not Rogue.
I don't get that reference.
Green Arrow in the first, not Green Arrow, Hawkeye, and Avengers.
I was about to say. I was like, Green Arrow? What are you talking
about? Green
guys
like to have arrows for some reason. Hawkeye and Avengers.
The Green Arrow is a hero. He's just not in this universe.
No, my bad.
I was like, wait, what? I don't get the reference.
I wonder why you were so quiet. Like, why is he not liking my joke? I know it wasn't a good joke, but come on.
I was trying to figure out what you were talking about. I was like, I've never even seen Green Arrow in a movie, I don't think.
No, we haven't.
Is he talking about the animated TV show or something? I gotta figure it out.
God damn it, that's funny. Storm and Nightcrawler come across the kids. They find them. Nightcrawler's afraid to go in there because... No, he doesn't. Whatever, that's an earlier conversation. He starts saving the kids. And we cut to... I think I went past it. Stryker is going on with his girl to Wolverine's location. They come across Wolverine. Stryker says, you have the first and only experiment I had. Fight her. You're going to die, Wolverine. I'll leave. So he says also, adamantium is a really hard substance. It's got to stay heated forever, or if not, it slows down and it becomes cool and indestructible. Wolverine and Deathstrike have their great, cool fight. They're just stabbing each other, healing from the stabs, and throwing each other across the room.
I guess I should bring up that, Deathstrike in this is not the Deathstrike from the comics at all.
Elaborate, please.
In this, she's just a mindless drone. She has no personality, no anything. And then she's killed off very brutally.
Well, is she a character in the comics? Like, does she actually have personality? Does she have a story?
Yeah, she worked with what was it? She was in Japan, and she's got the same abilities and stuff as Wolverine. But her quest is to kill Wolverine essentially throughout the comics to try and prove herself. So
was she made the same way?
I think she was part of the Weapon X program.
Okay.
I'm not 100% sure. I'm not really familiar with the character, but I know a little bit about her.
Okay.
I know she worked with Daredevil for a little while for some reason. I don't remember why, though.
Really?
Yeah, so she's a major character. Well, not a major, but she's more of a character in the comics than she was here. I think they just we need someone to fight a cool mutant to fight Wolverine, and we don't have Sabretooth for some reason, so let's make this character it.
Yeah, it's always bothered me. Like, why not bring him back? I know he didn't die in the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. But, yeah, I guess I'm not sure why they chose to waste her on this, but they did.
That's the beginning of this franchise is dumb.
Yeah, they do like the waste characters for stupid roles.
I guess they figured fan service, and there's so many characters to pull from. Why not just take one, use them, and get rid of them? Yeah,
but there's so many other characters they could have just thrown in this role.
It's annoying, isn't it? So yeah, during the fight lasts a few minutes. Wolverine kills the Lady Deathstrike by injecting her with adamantium. It seeps out of her eyes and mouth and nose. It's disgusting a little bit. And she dies. She sticks to the bottom and dies.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, very brutal. He's sad about it. He's like, man, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, he just murdered someone that's brainwashed.
Yeah, he felt terrible about it, too. Like, he just felt bad.
I mean, why didn't he just hit her in the head and have her come out of it like they did with Cyclops?
Well, was she brainwashed, or was she really just cool with it? I thought she was cool with it.
No, they showed a scene when they first had Xavier. Yeah. She was coming out of it, and he used the acid brainwash thing to brainwash her again.
Well, I guess Wolverine didn't know that. Like, in character, Wolverine didn't know that, so that makes sense.
I guess. I don't know. It's just weird that they decided to kill her off when they could have unbrainwashed her.
And honestly, any of those hits he's given her could have unbrainwashed her. By this movie's logic.
Yeah,
really. One good hit to the head is something that cures you. They were throwing each other around like rag dolls. This movie's stupid sometimes. Anyways, Magneto.
That's a theme with the movies we review. Yeah. It's more we get into it.
Yeah, it starts off with good ratings, but the more you talk about it, like, oh, that's dumb too. Anyways, Magneto and Mystique get to the door where Professor X is at. There's guards there. Magneto pulls the pins on the grenades. They all blow up and die. Pretty cool.
Which, I guess, I was going to say, doesn't it make it's stupid for them to have it if Magneto's there? But I guess they didn't know he was showing up.
Yes.
But they were, they know that the mutants are in there and that Magneto's there at that point. You would think they would just discard anything that they had that was...
Well, they would get rid of the guns, too, at that point, too, I assume.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Why didn't Magneto just pull the guns out of their hands?
Magneto, because the grenades are cooler scene.
Yeah, I guess.
Bloodier for sure, but cooler.
Yeah, but that's the thing. They didn't show anything.
They didn't.
So what's the point?
If this was an R-rated movie, there'd be a lot of blood.
Yeah, it's like, why go the grenade route if you're not going to even bother showing it?
Well, I guess because they went the gun route last time at the standoff. So let's do something different. Similar but different. Magneto puts his helmet on before he goes in the building. Just in time because Professor X is finally going off of the plan and starting to kill off all the mutants. They all start doing this brain thing and spazzing out. Which, why wouldn't it get him, I guess? Because it won't target himself?
Because the helmet blocks telepathic waves, I guess they're called.
Well, no, I'm not Magneto. I mean, like, Professor X and the kid that's helping him do this.
The Professor X is protected from his own thing.
Okay.
He's the one connected to everybody, so he would be the one that would, he's the one doing it, so he wouldn't be affected. As for the kid, the only thing I can think of is because he's in there with Cerebro.
Oh, that would make sense then, right?
And he's trying to find all the other mutants, so he already knows where he is, and he doesn't need to find them.
Okay, that's fair. Because I've always had questions about that. Yeah, someone should die here. But yeah, the mutants start freaking out. Professor X is succeeding with that plan. Magneto's not having any of it. He breaks open. No. Yeah, Magneto busts. How does he stop the kid?
He doesn't stop the kid.
How's he like... I remember how the Storm does it, but how's he make her do something different? Oh, that's right. Mystique walks in.
It transforms into Stryker.
Well, no, that makes no sense though. But like, she's freaking out from the attack. How she get up to walk to the kid?
Because he stopped it.
But how? I know he didn't attack him, did he? Did I miss?
He walks in.
Yeah.
He points to his helmet.
Yeah.
And then he reverses all the panels.
Oh, okay. So the attack doesn't stop because he does. Okay.
Yeah. I guess it stops because he reverses all the panels.
No, because when he's doing it, Mystique's already standing up. I don't know. That's weird to me. I guess the panel reversal does it.
Continue.
Don't feel about that. After Magneto reverses the panels, Mystique walks in, transfers to the Stryker, tells the kid, hey, target humans now. Kid's like, hey, Professor X, target humans now. He does it. People start people start freaking out. Storm and all they do is Magneto and what's-his-face leave. Storm and Nightcrawler pop on in. They try to stop the kid from doing the kid's thing. Ain't gonna stop. So Storm starts making it cold in there. Really cold.
He breaks off the telepathy from Professor Xavier because Magneto's breaking in.
So why didn't he do it then when the girls broke in? Storm and...
Because they didn't break in.
They just popped in.
Yes.
So while Storm is in there with Nightcrawler and the kid and Professor X making it cold, Wolverine finds Stryker, stabs him sometimes, leaves Stryker to die after they have some dialogue.
This doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. I'm cutting you off here.
Well, it doesn't make any sense.
But at this point,
I apologize. It's fine.
Professor X is in there looking for all the humans. Or all the mutants, or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But the guy keeps saying, kill them.
The girl or the...
The little girl keeps saying, kill them. Find all the humans, kill them.
Yes.
It's still supposed to be an illusion of him just looking for them.
Yes.
Why would he kill them? It makes no sense.
I don't know.
Because he's just thinking he's in there looking for all of them. And then when he finds all of them, okay, he found them all. He doesn't have to push further. Why would he kill them?
I don't know.
Because it's just an illusion. He just thinks he's searching, right?
He does say kill him. I don't know. That's weird.
Is he mind controlled at this point? Because they never say that he is. They just said this guy is an illusionist.
Maybe. I'm trying to find a defense for him. I got nothing. You're right. That's just weird. That would have snapped it out of it, or at least made him question things that's going on.
Yeah. He's supposed to be the strongest mutant out there. He could stop everybody and stop time.
Why not snap out of that and stop? Yeah.
And another thing.
What's up?
I know he's in the illusion, but once they take off that helmet, because they take off that helmet, that neural inhibitor thing, he should be able to, why doesn't he just stop them.
What do you mean?
He could physically stop people from moving and stuff like that. When he's trying to break into his mind, why doesn't he just stop him?
The first time?
Yeah, the first time before, he's like, stop it, whatever this guy's name is. Stop trying to get into my mind. He literally says
He had
that.
thing.
He had the thing on, right? So, but when they take it off, that means his mind can expand out again, right? So you would think something would click in there because he's supposed to have great willpower and be so super strong. There's a lot of contrivances here that make Professor X do this.
Because the movie's got a movie. That's why that happens. The
If
movie's
that's the
got a movie.
excuse you're going to use here after the bullet thing earlier.
Yeah, the movie's got a movie. That's always the excuse. I'm not saying your arguments are invalid. Your arguments are truly valid, and I totally agree. And then that's the end of the day. Same thing in my bullet thing. It's stupid. I don't like it. And my argument's stupid. I get it. But the movie's got a movie.
Continue.
Anyways, yeah, Wolverine finds Stryker, stabs him up. They have some more conversations about his past and his future and blah, 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 blah. He comes across him again. That's weird. He comes to him with, not stupid.
This is where he stabbed him, right?
Yeah, because then he comes back in the snow again and finds him again. That's just weird.
Yeah, he finds him later.
The kid,
holding the kid for some apparent reason.
That's redundant.
Why didn't you just put the kid down? The jet's right there. Yeah. They just did it so the kid could stick out his stupid reptile.
That's retarded. I'm sorry, that's stupid. That's really dumb. Anyways, so the dam starts bursting, so Wolverine's gotta go back in and start saving people. It's gonna leave Stryker there to die, ideally. As the dam starts bursting, Wolverine starts saving people. Stryker is now ran into by Magneto and Mystique. They have a dialogue. It's like, I keep running into you. It's gonna be last time. Magneto starts choking him. I thought Magneto would kill him here. He only has just tied him up some more.
Yeah, so I guess he just wanted them to be killed by drowning or whatever.
I think he would kill him though.
Why?
No, because he's the bad guy. And he's just kill him off here.
He's gonna die anyway. Why dirty my hands when the dam's about to explode?
Well, he literally just said, "We're always running into each other. I want to make sure it never happens again."
And he ties him to a wall, and the dam's gonna come and drown him.
The chains he used it looked like he was strangling him to death. Like, damn, that's Dark Magneto, but okay.
But they didn't.
They didn't, but why wouldn't they?
Because of PG-13.
There we go. That's the answer. Movie's got a movie. Anyways, we go cut back to Storm and Nightcrawler freezing up the joint. They freeze it. Breaks. Is the kid name's Eric?
Is what?
The kid. Is his name Eric?
What kid?
The one that's controlling Professor X.
No?
I wrote down Eric.
I don't think so.
Wherever the kid.
Eric is Magneto.
That's what I thought. When I wrote it down, that's not right. Keep 2 Erics. I mean, there could be 2 Erics, but that's just lazy writing at that point. The kid is frozen. Snaps him out of his control because he says, I can't do it anymore. It's cold. And stops Professor X from doing his thing. Everyone's saved. But not really. Because now they got to get it out of the base because it's crumbling. As it's crumbling, one of the boulders falls in front of Professor X and his Storm and Nightcrawler. So Nightcrawler bamps over, gets Professor X out the wheelchair and back to Storm. Another boulder falls, and now the guy's there stuck by himself. The bad kid. He's gonna die there. Sad. Jason. Okay, thank you. I don't know why I wrote down Eric. And now the Storm, Nightcrawler, and Professor X are getting out of there. They're carrying Professor X with anything. Throughout everyone's reunion, everyone's joining up again. All the heroes try and get to that jet. As Wolverine shows them out with the kids. There's no jet. There's no helicopter. Oh no, what's going to happen? Wolverine first runs into Stryker again, carrying a kid. They have their last bit of dialogue for some reason. Kid sticks his tongue out. Now they go trying to find the jet and the helicopter. Can't find it. What's going to happen? They're going to die. But not really, because Rogue's piloting through the helicopter jet and lands it in front of everybody. They get in. The jet's not working for some reason properly.
Because, plot devices.
Plot device, yeah. I guess because the earlier or whatever.
There was no earlier. There was no excuse for this.
No,
except for maybe the crash.
Yeah, the crash.
Mess it up.
That's the only reason. That's the best logic it has. But even then, it's still fluid here, so it's dumb. So, what's going to happen? Jean Grey's going to decide to sacrifice herself for some reason. She's not going to let Nightcrawler save them or Professor X save them. No. She's going to go out the plane, stop the water from happening, from crashing into the plane, and just sacrifice herself in the dumbest way possible.
Couldn't she just float out of the water after
anything? She didn't have to die there. She didn't die there. That's just stupid.
I mean, she didn't die there, but you know.
Anything could have been happening.
Yeah, that's weird. We already talked about this earlier. This is stupid.
But it happens. And they're all sad. Scott's freaking out. Logan's like, nah, man, she's dead. Professor X is like,
I do like that Scott and Logan kind of bond over it, though.
Oh, so do I. Anyways, while they're fighting, Professor X is like, we gotta go to DC, guys. Screw Jean Grey. We gotta talk to the people of America. So they end up in DC. The president's gonna give a national address about what has just happened to everybody in the world. As she's doing it, as she's starting off, Everything flickers off. Power shorts, goes back on. Optics stops. People are frozen again. It's Professor X in the group. They all just got in there somehow.
So we discussed this earlier about him freezing things.
Yes.
And how he can't freeze things. Is this live right now?
Here's my thought on that.
Is the whole world seeing this right now?
The world didn't see it because the power went out, which made the thing stop recording.
But it just flickered off and on.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it is dark the whole conversation.
But my thing is, though, everyone in that room is frozen. Power went out for a few minutes when they're talking. So the whole world just looking at a black screen right now. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, where's the Secret Service and like the army and stuff? Like, what's going on?
Especially after an attack like that, you think that White House would be like really secure. But no. Yes, yeah, that happens. He has his like Mr. President do the right thing moment. Tell the people it's going to be okay. We got a bright future ahead of us. And they all leave. The president's like, oh, what happened? Okay, it's going to be good, guys. We got this, guys. And then next sequence is just Professor X talking to Wolverine, right?
And Scott.
And just saying how Jean Grey's going to be fine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
No, he doesn't say she's going to be fine.
He says something.
They talk about how she sacrificed herself.
Yeah, it was okay. It was what she wanted to do, right?
Yeah, it was her choice.
Oh,
she made
it's a choice. All a choice. They leave. Professor X has his class. I think that's the end, right?
No, we go cut back to
water.
We get kind of a scene with Scott and Wolverine kind of being friendly, and then we cut over to the Dark Phoenix underneath the water.
Underneath the water out of the lake, and there's a voiceover from Jean Grey, and that's the movie.
Cliffhanger. Dun, dun, dun.
Yay! And that's X-Men 2, guys. X-Men United. It's a movie. It's long.
It is.
There's a lot of good in it, but there's a lot of blood in it.
There's no blood in it.
Blah, 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 blah.
I was about to say, there's like no blood in it.
No, there's really no blood. If there's a blood in it, I would like it a lot more. But yeah, it's good overall. It's a movie. What'd you think of it, TJ?
I liked it when I was watching it.
Yeah. You can talk about it, you kind of like it less, right?
Outside of the two really good scenes, it's kind of falls apart.
Well, you think it falls apart or do you think it just goes slow?
No, I think it kind of falls apart. None of the logic makes sense. The motivations in this are kind of like, they're doing things because we say they do these things.
Okay. They don't do these things because they should be doing these things.
Yeah, a lot of the
That's
times.
Fair. I do feel, though, it was still well made and, like, technically wise, it was, like, not that it's pretty to look at, but it's well made. It's just good to look at. Enjoyable.
I mean, I didn't notice anything, so...
Exactly.
So it wasn't terrible.
No. I'm thinking about it. There was a lot of practical effects in this movie, not much CGI.
Yeah, so I mean...
That's a blessing to this movie. Yeah. Want to rate this thing? What'd you give it?
The number that you didn't give it.
I gave it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, I gave it a 6.
You give it a 6? Oh,
yeah.
Interesting.
It was at a 7, and then I started reviewing it.
What?
It was at a 7, but then I started reviewing it.
It was at an 8, and I started reviewing it. That's funny.
Yeah, so, like, kind of, when I started picking it apart, I was like, oh, okay, it's not as good as I thought it was, so...
So how many things you nitpick does it make it go down a grade? Like 8 things to nitpick to make it go down a grade for you?
It's not so much a number, it's how much I'm nitpicking.
Oh, okay.
If I'm, like, stopping you enough that it's interrupting the flow of the review, or the recap when you're going through things.
Well, my review has no flow. What are you talking about?
That's what's, but if it interrupts, like, what you're explaining is going on, and I have to constantly come in and say, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, this doesn't make sense, and then it loses points.
That's fair.
Yeah. But I'm done talking to these idiots.
I'm not. This movie wasn't as good as Batman Forever, in my opinion.
You know what? I had enough of you.
What?
That's it. You're fired.
You can't do this.
You're fired.